Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. Wonder Woman was a fantastic hit this weekend, suffering the lowest weekend to weekend box office drop in the history of the modern superhero age. I'll get more into that tomorrow when I get the full estimates, but I wanted to get into Superman, guys. So Heroic Hollywood came out and they did this article called 5 Best Superman Moments of the DCEU so far. I suggest you go read this article. I'll put the link down below, but it goes into detail of the 5 separate scenes, Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, that this Heroic Hollywood seems to like. It covers first flight, interrogation scene, rooftop scene, some of those in general that I really do enjoy. I actually have a lot more of my own. Now, Jeff Johns, Mr. DC Chief, he hypes up Superman's involvement in Justice League by going on Twitter and responding to Heroic Hollywood's article, and it says, "Get ready to revise your list." Oh my god, that is super exciting because Jeff Johns, as you know, he's the chief creative officer at DC Comics, retweeting an article about Superman's best moments and indicating that there's something great to come. Now, this is definitely, possibly, most likely about Justice League, as Justice League is coming out in November, and I can't flippin' wait for it. We all know who's coming back. The big red and blue man himself, the Boy Scout, he's coming back. Superman, he's returning. And that's got to be one of the best moments in DCEU. But is he just hyping his return in a small type of way? Meaning, of course, his return has got to be pretty big. He's coming back from the dead. He got killed by Doomsday. He's coming back from the dead to be Superman once again. I want to take this conversation a little bit further. As you know, Jeff Johns is heading this whole thing. Wonder Woman is a huge success. Critically, seemingly, financially, the general audience loves it all around. Everybody's hyping this film. Everybody's going to watch Wonder Woman. And is this part of the change that I've been talking about in several videos before about the DC Extended Universe, about Jeff Johns coming in, about John Byrne coming in, about this whole thing where Zack Snyder tragically had to leave, but Joss Whedon's coming on board to rewrite some scenes for Justice League. Now, I don't necessarily think the DC Extended Universe need any changing. I actually enjoyed what was happening so far. I'm just talking about what's probably happening, what's probably coming through. As a studio is looking at, yes, a studio can just look at how much money Batman v Superman made, how much money Suicide Squad made, how much money Man of Steel made, and says, you know what? Screw the critics. We're just going to keep making this. Screw the entire fan base. We're going to keep making this how we wanted. No jokes, things like that. Make it a darker tone, which was okay by me. And or they were planning this whole, let's bring it to the light. Let's bring the hope in there. Let's bring in much quicker, much more jokes, a little bit more humor, and get it to where the Justice League they want it to be, a lighter type of universe. And I'm conflicted because Wonder Woman wasn't that light. It would still had that dark, gritty feel to it. But let's say Jeff Johns is a little bit hinting of what he's working on with Joss Whedon right now. What if he's right there? They're shooting the scene, maybe reshooting a scene that Zack Snyder thought, you know, maybe let's do this a little differently. Let's put a little bit more grandiose feel, a more epic return of Superman, instead of him just showing up when the cargo plane drops down and they're just staring at Superman. It's like, oh hey, how you been? You know, I want it more grandiose, and I think if he's gonna tease that this is gonna have to revise our list, that it's gonna be an epic moment in Superman's history in this DC Extended Universe, I want it to be the giant one, the roaring, rip-roaring, huge, grandiose moment like Wonder Woman coming onto the battlefield. I want it to be so incredibly perfect. Have him come out full colors, He's smiling and he's in the sunlight and is so hopeful. There is incredible the roaring music of Hans Zimmer's score just blazing, or in this case Hans Zimmer's theme song right in there, and it's just amazing. It'll be like First Flight all over again. And I've talked about this so many times, but having Jeff Johns say this actually gives me a ton of hope that they know what they're doing, and it's giving people who didn't like the DC Extended Universe, and now they do because of Wonder Woman. I can't complain about that, because if the box office is good, yes, I know, I don't care about the critics either, but they do, like it or not, affect the general audience who don't even care about our universe, don't even care about our fan base. They just want to go and watch a movie. Look what happened to The Mummy. Okay, they just want to go and have a fun movie, and they generally like on a Yelp. Before they go to a restaurant, they'll pull up and say it's a 4-star or 3-star. They'll pull up a Rotten Tomatoes on Flixster, and they'll say, you know, oh, this has got a fresh certified tomato, and trailer looks pretty good. Let's go and have a good time in the theater. I mean, honestly, it feels so weird now having people agree that Wonder Woman was a good movie. I mean, I could have sworn I was gonna have to defend Wonder Woman, but I'm still completely shocked that I'm in a world where the rest of the general public, not including my friends who are really hardcore comic book fans, but who generally like and say, you know, I love that Wonder Woman movie, I want to see more of it. Before, I mean, these people wouldn't say that. I know you're probably saying, who do you hang out with? But most of the people that I am with are general audience fans who don't even know who can't even tell Thanos from Darkseid. Okay, they don't even know who these people are. They know the Batmans, they know the Supermans, and they're learning about the Marvel universe as much as I am learning about the Marvel universe. These are the people I'm with, and so it's fun to see that this group of people are enjoying what I like, and it's fun to see that people like you who enjoy the DC Extended Universe and finally let out a breath of relief that there's fans of the DC Extended Universe has grown exponentially because of Wonder Woman. So we can see that we can have some of that gritty dark tones, and we can have some of that light stuff that the most people like to have, and we can have a little bit of the deep drama, the more of the action, a little of the comedy, but having some serious matter in it, all in one film. And I think that just brings everybody together. And so Justice League, I really think we can finally come together, unite in embracing the DC Extended Universe from Justice League on out. All in all, it's a win-win. I think it's going to be a great moment in Superman's history, and I just cannot wait for him to come back. Alright, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.